We are joined by Miami, Ohio head coach Brian Smiley, shortstop Dillon Baker, and catcher David Novak. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will go into questions. Please raise your hand, and we will pass a mic to you. Coach.
Yeah, I think before we get into the game, I think it's only fitting that we talk about this year's team. I think our quest back in the fall was to start earning respect, not only locally, but regionally, and then certainly nationally, in that order. And there's no question that this team did that, which is not easy to do. This team has been through a lot, and my hat's off to them. I couldn't be prouder to be their head coach. I couldn't be prouder of my coaching staff, and it's been nothing. It has been an absolute pleasure to coach this group, especially these two young men sitting right beside me.
Questions? Front here.
Just in general, the game, it looks like it's going south, and suddenly you're within a slam of winning.
I think it's a testament to just that never say die approach that these guys have taken on. It's impressive to watch. I've told them that I have kind of transitioned from being their head coach to just a fan, and that is earned. That I'm just their fan, and I'm speaking for the rest of the coaching staff. I'm a fan of them as a team. I'm a fan of them individually, just watching them play. And I have said it, if I've said it once, I've said it 30 times this past couple months. If you want to beat them, you got to kill them, because knocking them down isn't good enough, because they're going to get up, and they're going to keep getting up, and they're going to keep throwing punches until there are no more left to throw. And I think everybody witnessed that today.
Second row.
Dillon, David, I know Coach talked about earning respect. I can say from my point of view, I have a ton of respect for the competitiveness that you guys showed this weekend. I knew you guys came here to win and not just perform well, but as leaders on this team, how do you assess your performance as a group in competing against lineups that were littered with future major leaguers in them?
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of what this group of guys has done. We've talked about it all year that we're going to go out there and we're going to give you everything that we got for every pitch. We're not just going to give you one guy. It's going to get you some time off. We're going to give you everything we have all the time, and I think that we showed that throughout this regional, and I couldn't be more proud to be part of this team.
Yeah, basically what Dillon said, but it's a unit. We're not one individual player. We're a whole bunch of players that play for one team and one university, and obviously we were able to show that, especially in that last inning. But I mean, we're going to compete no matter what the score is, but just playing for each other, especially with a lot of old guys on the team. It's because it's our last year. And just having that fight in us no matter what. I mean, it doesn't matter if we were down 20, we were going to find a way to somehow make it back within striking distance. But, yeah, we're just never going to give up.
Front row.
For both David and Dillon, Hayden LaFew, the reliever for Wake Forest, was peppering the strike zone, looked pretty unstoppable in the 8th inning. And then you guys come up in the 9th and just touched him up, ran him out of the game. What was different about the approach? What did you guys figure out between the 8th and the 9th that you were able to get a hold of him?
You want me to go?
To be honest, we were going to go out throwing punches. We were not just going to lay there and let him get us down. We were going to go out throwing punches if we went out.
Yeah, I'd agree. We'd had talk before we went out for that inning to hit. Usually we take till strike or something kind of like that in that last inning until then. But we were like, hey, we're gonna go down what we're doing best, and we're gonna go out swinging. We obviously came out swinging, just fell up a little bit short.
Second row.
Obviously, I mean, not the result you guys were looking for, but are there some things that you can take away and learn from this experience, both as a team and individually as players or a coach?
What are you guys going to take away from it?
I mean, we've talked about it since the day Coach Smiley got here. I remember being in a car to drive, I don't even know where, but Coach Smiley was at TCU in a hotel room telling us he was going to be our coach, and he was telling us how one team was going to change this program forever. And we last year decided as a group that we wanted to be that team, and obviously last year was not the group to do it. But I think that we were able to do that this year and forever. This team and this university, especially with Coach Smiley here, is going to be respected, and forever is going to change.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned more than I can express from Coach Smiley. Just being a part of this team, this experience as a whole, just never giving up. Just the toughness that we, as a unit, as a team, have taken throughout this year, I'll never forget this year.
Time for two more.
When I was here last night after the Tennessee game, I asked y'all, how happy were y'all to play an NCAA tournament game? And David, you specifically said, we want to win. We're happy to be here, but we kind of want to win. What sort of conversation did you have before the game today that reflected what you said, if you had any?
I can sum it up, I guess, kind of shortly, but it was just we got on the bus this morning. Coach Smiley looked outside of the bus and said the sun came up. That was basically the gist of it, and it's time to go after it and give them all we got.
Coach, with Evans' 2 home runs this weekend, I believe he's now tied the program record. What has he meant for the program this year? And as a guy coming from somewhere else and having success, same question kind of with Cooper Katz. Like, what does that mean for the future as you're building this program when you can show other people around the country, guys come into Miami and can elevate their career?
Yeah, speaking on Evan in particular, he doesn't say a whole lot, but he leads by action, which I think is kind of how you would prefer it, especially inside of our program. He's a man of few words, but he leads by example. And what he has transformed himself into a complete hitter, a complete player, really. He's not just a big bopper, a DH type of guy. He can move around and defend well at first base and has worked hard at that. He's not just a guy that's going to hit a home run, pull side. He